I bought this electric Ride-on about a year ago. People always ask, how much can you mow on a charge? Well, today I'm going to try it out. Okay, I'm ready to start my test. I've got my earmuffs here. I always use those, mainly so I can hear my podcast. It's a bit loud though, it's worth using. And I've got my timer here, so I'm going to time how long I'm going for. I'll stop it whenever I stop and restart it. Off we go. We've had this lawnmower for a year, but we've never run it flat. So today I'm going to keep on mowing lawn until it runs flat. And I've got this timer here, so I've set this timer going and I'll stop it each time I stop mowing the lawn. So I can have a break, even if the lawnmower doesn't need it. With this mower you can either mulch or you can throw grass out the side. There's no catcher attachment. I've got it on mulching mode now. What that means is it cuts each leaf of grass, cuts it up, throws it around inside, and eventually it falls down onto the grass and mulches onto the ground. Mulching is good, it helps you with water retention, and it should break down and fertilise the lawn as well. I'm going along reasonably slowly here. The grass is reasonably thick. In the middle it's clover and flatweeds, and that's the thickest part of it there. With the continually varying speed, it's easy to choose exactly what speed you want and go quicker on one bit and slower on the other bit. Our previous lawnmower, you would have to change gears to do that. Okay, so this has taken 15 minutes or so. Here we go, I'll stop the timer for the moment. Come over and have a look just before I finish this last little bit. So you can see down here, the grass wasn't as thick. The mulching is working really well here. So the little bits of grass can go in between. Little bits of mown grass can go in between the upright grass. Over here where it's thicker and juicier, the mown grass is sitting on top, and so that's because there's too much mown grass, and because it's wet, it's really quite damp. It's just because this grass is a little bit thicker and very well watered. We had 50 mils of rain the other day. So here you can see how high it has been. You can perhaps see how high it has been. I'll move the camera around and maybe it'll work. And so over here where it's thick, you've got that little bit of a row on the side. I might run over that again and see what happens. So that section took about 18 minutes, and if you can see the battery, it's up to, it's still showing, it's gone down 1 bar from where it was to start with. Onto the next section, up and down the driveway. It's quite thick on the left hand side, and so I've used the chute there so the mower doesn't struggle so much. It's quite easy to take the chute off while you're sitting on the mower. You can put it back on while you're sitting on the mower, although it's easier if you're get off first. And then I've run back over it again without the chute, and that's then mulched it down into the grass properly. We're now up to 42 minutes. The battery's in the orange there. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars out of 10 by the look of it. Let's keep on going. This section of lawn has a thick bit over the other end. It's particularly wet, and what it's done is it's built up inside the mowing deck. So this occasionally happens, and you can hear it happening. You reach down and open it up, pull out the blocked bit, and keep on going. Okay, so up to 55 minutes. And 1, 2, 3, 4 bars remaining. Well, ironically, I ran out of battery on my phone, and so I couldn't film the last section. But here is where we are. So we're up to 1 hour 20. We've still got, it looks like 4 bars on that battery. It was saying 3 a minute ago. It's set for a couple of minutes to get itself back up again. I assume that's measuring voltage. So that's all of the lawn that I have to mow. It's done quite a good job in the most part. There are 2 sections of the lawn that at the moment are got a lot of clover in and flat weeds, and so because they're very fleshy, it tends to gum up the works. So I had to go a bit higher over those, a bit slower, and in one case when I wanted it lower I did it higher, and then I did it again lower, but it handled it all okay. So I need to keep on going with my test though, so I better find some more grass. I don't have any more lawn, but I'm sure I can find some grass around here. This grass here I normally get the cows to eat, or I do it with the slasher if the cows can't keep up with it. But today I'm just doing it as a demonstration, see how it goes in slightly longer grass. So here we go, it's gone flat after 1 hour and 25, which is pretty much exactly what they said. They said 90 minutes. And it's currently saying 3 bars, but a minute ago there was only the very first one, and it was flashing. So I assume it does it on voltage, and it stopped going. So it looks like I'll be able to drive home, I think. Let's see how we go. Yep, good. So here we have the flashing after I've returned to base. It's flashing the second last one. Just going out to look at this long grass. This isn't grass that I'd normally cut with a lawnmower. I'd normally use the slasher on the tractor. And so what you can see is I was doing it at the highest height, at height 10. And so you can see it leaves bits every now and then. The next time I went a bit slower, so on the right is where I started, and then I went slower on the left, and so it's done a better job when I went slower. To do this properly, I then go back in a reverse direction over top of the stuff that I've already cut. So you can also see from the left hand side it's thrown it over to the right hand side with the chute, and so it'll just keep on doing that as you go around, so you just get it sitting on top like that, which is pretty much exactly what the slasher does. Here is the underside of the mower after our lawn mowing today. Now, I had a lot of damp clover and other flatweeds, and what it's done is it's built up under there. So when it's wet, it builds up like paper mache, layer on layer. So it's a good thing to get rid of this. Use a stick if you don't want to use your hands. There we go, something to go on the compost heap. So since this is damp Tasmanian spring weather, this is the sort of cleaning you need to do. In the summer you'd be cleaning out these holes here to make sure that it didn't get clogged up with dust. At the moment I don't have a lot of dust. While I've got it up here, I'll do the light fluffy bits off the top. I've just discovered something about the way this goes up hills. I don't have many hills on my property, so I didn't really know this. I've got a little one here. So if I go forwards, stop on the hill, take the foot off the accelerator, it holds it there until I turn it off, and then after a second it lets go. And that's when you need to put the handbrake on. Okay, time to charge up. Here's the charger, has a green light at the moment. Take this little rubber plug out of the hole that stops dust getting in. Plug the socket in, turn it, charger goes red. When it goes green, it's full. Pull that little knob back, turn it, pull it out, and don't forget to put the rubber stopper in. So we're going to charge it now. I've got it plugged into a current monitor, so we'll be able to see exactly how much power we put into it. We'll come back when it's finished. Here we are the next day. You can see this graph that I've taken of the power consumption of the battery. I turned it on at a bit before 5 o'clock and then turned it off for a short amount of time for some reason. Turned it back on again, and it's charged from about 5 o'clock to about midnight, so that's about 7 hours of charge time. It's used about 1.26 kilowatt hours according to my meter there. Pretty much exactly what the user manual said. All in all, it's a good little mower, nice and strong, made out of metal, doesn't have plastic covers like some mowers these days. At $4,500, it's a lot of money to pay for a mower, but I'm never going to have to buy a can of petrol again, and with luck the electric components should last a long time. They shouldn't need a lot of servicing like a petrol mower. Oh, thanks for watching, and see you next time.